Hello students, today we are starting with triangles. Now the sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. If you add the angles in a triangle together, everything should give you 180 degrees. Now this is a triangle. If you look at the angles inside the triangle, this angle A, if you add this angle B plus this angle C, everything should sum up to 180 degrees. Sum of angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Now you can also you can describe a triangle using using an alphabet to represent the inner angles like this, or you can describe it using the arrangement of the angles. Assuming this is A, B and C. You can describe this angle B by calling it ABC. So that means you are referring to the angle that is inside. So this B represents the angle that is inside. Then for this angle, you can describe it as BCA. So that means you are talking about the angle inside. Then for this angle A, you can describe this as BAC. So you can use either of these two methods of description to describe each of the angles of the triangle. So that means angle ABC, this angle, plus BCA, this angle, plus BAC, this angle. If you add the three angles together, it should always give you 180 degrees. We have three angles in a triangle, and the addition is always 180 degrees. Another law says that the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angle. The exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angle. What do we mean by the exterior angle? Now, if you look at this diagram, let's consider this diagram. Now we are having this to be a triangle. This is a triangle. Now you can say that what this is an exterior angle. We have other three angles inside the triangle. These are the exterior angle. Now to get this exterior angle, you can say that the addition of this, this angle A and B is opposite to this angle C. So the addition of these two opposite angles will give you this angle C, the exterior angle. So if you add these two angles together, it's not on the same line with this C, and it is inside the triangle. Add these two angles together, it will give you this exterior angle. Now let's consider this also other triangle also. So to this an exterior angle. So this is the angles inside the triangle. So the value of A could be what the addition of these opposite two interior angles. Another rule, you can have the diagram like this. This is an exterior angle here. Then these are the interior angles. So this B could be what the addition of these two opposite interior angles. So it says that the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angle. So it depends on the exterior angle is outside the triangle we are talking about, and if you add the two opposite angles to that exterior angle, to always be addition of the two opposite interior angle. Now let's look at some examples for clarification. Example: find the lettered angle. You are having a triangle like this. You are told to look for the value of the angle that is represented by an alphabet. Now look at this. This is a triangle. this angle is for 78 degrees, this 42 degrees, then what will be the value of this? So whenever you are having any problem on this topic, you must understand that you must always give a reason for your answer. That is when that solution will be accepted. For example, you know that if you add the angles inside the triangle together, it's going to add up to 180 degrees. So let's start with that. So the angles, that is, if you add this angle x plus angle 42 plus angle 78 should be equal to 180 degrees. So you must give a reason before this solution will be accepted. So that is sum of angles in a triangle. So now you now have x plus add 42 plus 78, that is 120 degrees is equal to 180. So now you realize that from here we want to make this 120 cross the equality sign. Whenever any sign is crossing the equality sign, it's going to change to the opposite sign. So plus will change to minus. So that means x will now be equal to 180. Then this plus 120. When it comes to this other side to join 180, it will now be 120. So x will now be equal to 118 plus minus 120. That will give us 60 degrees. So that means the third angle in this triangle should be 60 degrees. Let's look at another example. So if you are having a diagram like this, now in this diagram we are told to look for angles A, B and C. Now for us to get angle A, this is a line, a straight line. A and 125 are on a straight line. So if you add angle 125 plus A should give us 180 degrees. Why? Angle on a straight line. The sum of angles on a straight line is taken to be 180. So when you add this angle 25 plus A should be equal to 180 degrees. So to get A, you need to bring this 25 here to this other side to join 180. Whenever plus crosses the equality sign, it will now turn to minus 125. So A is equal to 180 minus 125. 180 minus 125 is 55 degrees. From there, we're able to get a value for angle A. Now, let's come to angle B. Realize B and this 120 are on a straight line. So you are going to write B plus 110 should be equal to 180. Why? It's an angle on a straight line. The reason you are equating it to 180 is because it's an angle on a straight line. And before any solution in this topic will be accepted, you must always give a reason for your answer. So it's the reason that will tell us if you are actually right or wrong. Now, whenever 110 crosses the equality sign, it will now turn to minus 110. 180 minus 110 will give you 70 degrees. So we have been able to get A to be 55. We are able to get B to be 70. Then how can we get C? So we realize that this angle A, B and C forms a triangle. Since it forms a triangle, so if you add angle A and angle B and angle C, it should be able to add up to 180 degrees. Why? Sum of angles in a triangle. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C should be equal to 180 degrees. Why? Sum of angles in a triangle. Now, the value for angle A is 55 degrees, angle B is 70 degrees, and angle C is 180 degrees. Angle C, we don't know the value of angle C rather, but everything should add up to 180 degrees. 55 plus 70 plus C should be equal to 180 degrees. If you add 55 plus 70, it will give us 125 plus angle C should be equal to 180 degrees. Let's now bring this 125 to this other side. So 180 minus 125 will give us 55 degrees. 180 minus 125 will give us 55 degrees. So then the value for angle C is 55 degrees. Let's look at another example. So if you are having this triangle, no, this is a straight line, so this is a triangle. So this is an exterior angle. Realize this angle is not inside the triangle, so it is regarded as an exterior angle. So you can say that if you want to find the value of this exterior angle, you add what, the second law we are talking about is what, the opposite interior angle. So that means to get the value for x, you just add this other opposite interior angles together. So if you add 50 plus 65, you should be able to give us this exterior angle. So you must give the reason why. Exterior angle of a triangle. So this is exterior angle to this triangle. So that means if you add these two angles, 50 plus 65, it will give us what? X. So 115 degrees. If you don't want to solve it this way, you can go this other method. Now, if you have this, you are told to look for x here. This is an exterior angle. You have this angle to be 50, you have this angle to be 65, and you are told to look for this angle x. So you can say that, first of all, let us represent this inside angle to be A. So I'll first of all get the value of this A. So let us know sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So if I add this angle A plus 50 plus 65, it should be able to be equal to 180 degrees. So that is sum of angles in a triangle. You must always give the reason for your solution to be accepted. So 50 plus 65 will give us 115 degrees. So A plus 115 degrees is equal to 180. You bring this 115 to this other side, so it will now turn to what? Minus 115. A is equal to 180 minus 115. 180 minus 115 will give us 65. So you've been able to find the value of this inner angle. And since A and X are on a straight line, so if you add angle A plus angle X, it should be equal to 180y, angle on a straight line. So A plus X is equal to 180y, angle on a straight line. You've been able to calculate A earlier to be 65. You substitute A, so plus 6x should be equal to 180 degrees. So to get there, bring this 65 to this other side, it will turn to a minus 65. 180 minus 65 will give you 115 degrees. So it's either you use the first method I taught you, or you can use this other method. Any of the method is accepted. Only that this other one, it looks longer. But the most important thing, you use a method you can easily defend and give a reason for. Now, let's look at another example. Let's look at, considering this other example, you are having a triangle like this, and this is an angle here. So you are told that the angle, this exterior angle is 128 degrees. So what is the value for x? and you are given that this angle is 58, you are not given this one. So you can, for this exterior angle here, if you add this angle x plus 58 will give us the value of this exterior angle. So x plus 58 is equal to 128. Why? Because that is an exterior angle of a triangle. 128 happens to be the exterior angle of this triangle. So that means 128 should be equal to addition of x plus 58. So x plus 58 is equal to 128. So to get x, bring this 58 to this other side to turn to minus 58. So 128 minus 58 is equal to 70 degrees. Alternatively, you can also solve this solution this way. Now you're having this to be a triangle. You are told to look for x, though you are not told to look for this a. There's no angle here, and you are given 128 here. So, but you can take this to be a straight line. If you add angle A plus 128, that will be your angle on a straight line. That is 180. A plus 120 should be equal to 180y, angle on a straight line. So to now get a, you now bring this 128 to this side to now turn to minus 128. 180 minus 128 will give you 52. So if this gives you 52, now you now have a triangle here. Angle A plus x plus 58 should be equal to sum of angles in a triangle, which is 180. So if that gives you 180, so that means you now have A, which is what? You've calculated A to be 52, plus angle B, and this other 58, plus the value of the angle we are looking for, x, should be equal to 180. A is 52 plus this angle 58 plus x we are looking for is equal to 180. If you add angle 58 plus 52 will give us 110 plus angle x to be equal to 180. Now bring this 110 to this other side, so it will now turn to minus 108. 180 minus 110 should now give you 70 degrees. You realize that we got the same answer with the first one. Any of the method is appropriate. You can use any of it depending on how you can defend your points. Now let's look at this work practice. Number one, you are having a triangle, a right angle triangle. So this angle 43, you are told to look for x. And you should know that if you are having a right angle here, it means angle 90 degrees. Another one here, so you have this triangle, this one is x, this one is 45. You are given the angle outside here, which is an exterior angle. Then here you are given the exterior angle here and the exterior angle here. You are told to look for what? This angle x. You are told to look for this angle y, when this angle here is 48 degrees. Also, you are given this shape. So this is a triangle, this is a straight line. You are told to look for x when this place is 64 and 45. Also look at these two triangles, this one triangle and another triangle. This angle is 70, you are having this to be 50. You are told to get this angle, which is x, this y, and this 28. Also you have this in this triangle. In the first triangle, you are having angle 35, 100, you are told to look for y. Here also you are told to look for the exterior angle here, when the interior angle this side is 18 degrees. So the seventh shape you are given is this is a straight line. So you are told you are given this to 115. This is angle H, angle K, and this is 31. Also you are given two triangles here also. I told you look for angle x and y. When this angle is 30, this is 45, and this is also 55. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thank you.